How did you get to that point? Did it just take the years going by? Like, I mean, is there something you could fast track to the person who's sitting there thinking like, I don't want to do this because I don't want to face the reality of sucking and that fear? Is there something you could do to fast track it?
Lose
or is
more.
it just lose
Honestly,
more?
I think the first thing that I had to do was get my body back into a resilient state where I could handle training volume. Because if you can't train, then trying to compete is just hard because the competition is at a deeper intensity than training. And if you can't even handle training without, like, I wake up the next day and couldn't bend over because my back was so sore, that had to get fixed first. But once I got that, I was like, you know what? Surround yourself with people better than you. I have a culture of some of the best CrossFit athletes in the world. I'm just going to do Metcons with them. And you get beat by 6 minutes on a workout that's 10 minutes long, and you're like, I'm sick of that. Like, all right, fine, I can't beat them, but maybe I could be 5 minutes better next time. And slowly over the course of a period of time, you start inching up closer and closer to their workouts, start beating them on one thing or another thing, and you start figuring out a way for you to be confident in what your capabilities are. But that confidence in what your capabilities are is really built on confidence in who you are as a human first. And so I think I needed to figure out what my value to humanity was, or like, not in a big esoteric way, maybe what my value to this community was. Like, what am I providing to Travis that is so valuable to him that if I took last place in the Open, he'd still respect me as a human being? And it took me time to articulate that to myself. Like, what is it that I can be to other people, regardless of what the fuck I do on a workout on a leaderboard? And once I stopped caring about that, then it allowed me to kind of get back into competing and take it competitively, which I know sounds opposite. It sounds like I stopped caring about competing and then fell back in love with competing.
Yeah, so I'm asking you for the fast track advice, but I'm of the opinion that you kind of have to just do it wrong all the time and then you figure it out. But you mentioned losing. You said you got to lose a lot.
I think all great champions are people that respond to losing better than other people, because everybody loses. Like, there's nobody that ever, it's not like all of a sudden somebody gets into something and they're automatically a winner. And most people's champion stories, they hinge on a big loss story. Like Rich Froning at the 2010 games.
Broke my heart.
Yeah, like everyone's like, oh my God, this is the best dude ever at CrossFit. This is amazing. And then he can't climb a rope, falls off the rope. And then
I was delivering pizzas and I had it ghetto rigged onto my dashboard with like an iPhone 2 or something.
Yeah.
And I was watching it and I was just...
Yeah.
I was rooting for him because he's from Tennessee, so I was like, that's my dude. And then he lost it.
Yeah, and then he did that, and then that spawned the big run that he went on. And then Matt Frazier, same thing. I think the year he lost to Froning, he said, like, kind of expected that. And then the next year when he lost to Ben Smith, that was like the catalyst for him to start taking his shit seriously. And then that started his run. I think it's true in everything. And now you only see that on the big scale with those athletes, but with other people, like people that are just trying to climb up and be better versions of themselves, just take losses over and over.
How can you take losses better? Is that a process of learning how to do it?
I think it's just how you react to them.
How do you get to the stage where you react to them not like a little baby?
Put yourself in a community of people that responded over time better, like, and then emulate.
Do you think it's a rep thing too? You just got to take a reps of losses and then like
number of them.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because we play spike ball all the time. We train people to lose, especially if you're versing me.
So they could just come here and lose to you in spike ball and be better versions of losers.
Yeah,
yeah.
No, sorry, I cut you off. Anything else to the losing thing? I feel like that's an interesting answer.
I think you have to be part of a community of people that figured out how to lose and navigate it in a way that ultimately made them winners.
Travis.
And then, and then ultimately emulate how they react to it. Because
I feel like this man is on his game now. Like, I don't want to say finally. He's been building his game, but now I feel like, all the losing and all the, what do you keep calling it? Adversity.
Yeah,
adversity training. I feel like when I talk to him now, like that's a confident dude. I feel like it's all there. And you couldn't have just said, hey man, be confident. Like it manifested through all the loss and dealing with it.
Yeah, and so some of it too is like you lose and then people inside your community criticize you and and then you react to that criticism. You decide if that criticism is a true reflection of who you are or if you're going to do it differently next time. And like, it's this big complex web of interactions of how you respond to all of the aspects of losing that dictate whether or not you're going to stay consistent and disciplined in it. And I think Trav figured out how to do that. And maybe he set the model to inspire me as to how to do that for myself in this avenue. Like, I'm not trying to be a pro CrossFitter, but I do run an organization that's heavily in CrossFit. So I feel like it's a good model to say, look, I've had all these injuries. I've, broken my ankle, knee surgery, shoulder, broken my wrist, herniated disc, torn labrum, and do all these things. And I figured out a way to be able to move in a way and have a training program that allows me on a limited amount of CrossFit-based volume to do this for fun and stay healthy and not let it beat up my body. And for me, that's like it's an important why. And I tried not to give up on that, largely because I didn't want to be a hypocrite from telling Travis, like, don't give up so many times.
Well, here in a minute, I'm going to ask you what tips you have for people coming up at the Open. But since we don't have anybody else here, I got to stop the cameras, start them again. All right, and we're back.
And we're back on Two Couches with Chris and Max.
Oh, that's what you're calling it?
No.
So, huh?
Never mind.
What? What were you going to say?
Never mind.
Tell me.
It was going to be a reference. I forgot the even name of it, like Two Girls, One Cup thing. I was going to say like Two Couches, One Table.
And we're back.
Cut that out.
What did I say I was going to ask you before I walked over there? Oh, yeah,
Something
Open
about
tips.
Yeah.
Tips for people doing the Open. What you got? Give me your strategies, bro. Come on.
Yeah. So tips have to be separated into...
Oh, you know what that sound means?
That means I don't have to answer this.
What tips do you have? What tips do you have? You have any tips for people doing the Open?
Yes. It has to be separated into different tiers of people that are doing the Open, because I feel like there are different reasons why people are doing it. So for a beginner...
What are we defining as beginner?
Let's say like less than 2 years of CrossFit experience. Or maybe this is your first actual competition, like you've just been in the classes, but you decided you're doing the Open this year for the first time because you fell in love with it, you're getting more passionate, somebody in your culture has typed you into doing the Open with them, whatever it is, like this, you just don't have a lot of experience. I think less than 2 years.
I love that, less than 2 years. I love that if you go back far enough in the sport, less than 2 years of doing CrossFit meant you were going to the games.
Yeah, that's true. I feel
that's
like,
how you got there, right?
Yeah. I was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I was a little over halfway, 5 years into it. And I look back at that and I just laugh. And I'm like, the level of development of like the last person at regionals probably would have, of 2019 would have like dominated and won the games of 2000, like 11, 12, 13. Like it's just
don't say 11, 12, 13. That's a little that's a little late. Maybe the 7, 8, 9.
Well, definitely back then. But
yeah.
I feel like the development of the sport has just continued to go up. Like people are just out of control good now.
Do you really think someone who was at regionals in 19 could have beat 11?
Froning in 12.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I do.
I mean, I don't pay attention as much as you do, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
I hope we get a lot of fucking drama in the comments about that.
Yeah.
But you truly believe it? You're not just saying that?
No, I think it would be definitely competitive.